Hey folks, David here once again. Welcome back to another review. Did I say review? This is not a review. Another video, I'm sorry. It was kind of like a review. Remember guys, on my new YouTube channel, thank you for 367 subs. I'm sorry guys, I haven't been doing videos in a while. No, I've not gotten to Arrow yet. I've been kind of looking for a job lately. No luck, but I'm still looking. But if I don't get a job by November or December, well, I'll keep looking still. But hopefully I'll get to Arrow as part of the last channel update video that I recently did. I'm not quitting YouTube, guys. It's just been busy work and trying to work on getting another job, which I still need to work on. But I went to the movie theaters today. It's only about what 16 minutes away from where I live at. Yeah, it was Regal Cinemas, and well, guys, this is a what I call a first reaction video. Now, guys, on my other channel, let me explain. On my other channel, I would do these videos. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Levi McNally. I have had another YouTube channel. Yeah, with the Batman Mask with the Phantasm profile picture, but the mask profile picture, which Jim Carrey did, that's my new channel. But here on this channel, I would do these first reaction videos. If you see the playlist here, I will share it on this channel. Yeah, my last one was Spies in Disguise, but I went to go see that movie with a friend of mine named Ashley Greer, aka Entertainment Fanatic Reviews. But that was like 5 years ago. That was back in 2020. That's when COVID happened and stuff. It was at the drive-in movie theater. That was a pretty awesome moment, by the way. That was cool. But yeah, what first reaction videos are? These are the kind of different videos on my channel, guys. These are when I see new movies, I just go ahead and give you my thoughts on it. What I thought of it when I first time saw the movie. I haven't been doing these lately because I haven't been interested in seeing any movies, but I really enjoyed the first movie I saw a couple years back. I think back in 2023, and I recently just watched the first movie this week, and I enjoyed it. It starred Ethan Hawke. Yeah, it was called The Black Phone, supernatural horror movie, and I liked it. Directed by Scott Dickerson, who directed it from what I know, just Doctor Strange. Yeah, and he directed some other horror movies too, I think. But Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch, which I like that movie. Yeah, yeah, and of course this film. I'm talking about the sequel to this movie that is Black Phone 2. So here's my first reaction to it. The first reaction. This is just me giving my thoughts on the movie, what I thought of it when I saw it in theaters. I saw it in theaters today. I just tell you what I think of it, in my opinion. But if I do like a Halloween marathon one day and I review these two movies, my opinion could change on the film over time. Again, this is just my first reaction, my first time seeing the film. So again, the first reaction video is just first reaction, basically telling you my opinion and thoughts on the movie. There is no rating or anything. This is just like, okay, what I thought of the film. I like doing these kind of videos because they're different. I tried to do a movie theater video, but somewhat my fucking webcam, my camera sucks, and it was just the editing was not the quality was terrible. The quality I think is good right here, but on my phone it was terrible. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. It was dark, of course, but yeah, I'm like, I would do at the movie theater videos, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that anymore. I can still try to do those, but my phone technology is just a pain in the butt. If you know what I mean. You just want to do one simple nice thing for you, and it just doesn't work. But anyway, so the Black Phone 2 or just Black Phone 2. What I thought of the sequel. Saw it today. What I thought of Black Phone 2, my first reaction is I'm mixed on this film. I thought it was mediocre at best of a sequel. I was, to be honest, I was just disappointed. I mean, this is my opinion. Again, my opinion could change. I do think the film had an interesting premise. I just wasn't fully impressed with the movie. I do think it rips off a bit of the horror movies. But, yeah, it did get positive reviews from critics. I don't really understand what the critics are seeing that way. Maybe they'll do a third movie. One critic said the Black Panther is a chilling sequel that marks memorable scares and provoking themes from the scores that I disagree with that. Calling it memorable. But again, the characters that came back, Mason Thames coming back as Finney. I thought he did a good job. I thought Madeline McGraw as Gwen, I thought she did a good job. You know, yeah. And of course, Ethan Hawke as the grabber, he did a great job as well. Now, the rest of the cast, I didn't mind. Who's the guy that plays the father in these movies? He looks so familiar. Let's see. Oh, he was in Twister and Saving Private Ryan. Oh, Timothy Tim. Was that guy that was the cowardly one? Kind of got his comrades killed like an idiot. Probably. Yeah. But the three cast members that came back: Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, Ethan Hawke, who my first time seeing him in a movie was in Dead Poet Society of Robin Williams. He did a great job, and I won't mention no spoilers either. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. But to give you a quick plot synopsis about what the sequel is about, is that bad dreams haunt 15-year-old Gwen as she receives calls from the black phone and sees disturbing visions of three boys being stalked at a winter camp. Accompanied by her brother, Finn, who survived, if you've seen the last movie. I will mention some spoilers here. If you've not seen the first Black Phone movie, turn the video right now. I'm going to mention some spoilers for the first movie. In the first movie, when Finn was kidnapped, basically, you have the grabber who's the serial killer. He kidnaps children, like hooks them up with like balloons. He's able to grab them. He wears the creepy mask, the devilish mask. And Finn was able to trap him, and Finn like chokes him, kills his ass, and he survived that. So spoiler, yeah, he killed him at the end of the first movie by choking him out, you know. And you realize that he had two houses, one that he lived in, his brother lived in. Well, lived in, he would just keep his secret house for serial killing kids and stuff. It's a very supernatural kind of movie. But anyway, so Cumber, they head to the camp to solve the mystery, only to confront the grabber, a killer who's grown even more powerful in death. Yeah. And so they had to find out what they had to say to these children, along with these new characters in the movie, and they have to stop the grabber and they have to take him down. Now, let me get to some positives real quick. Again, I do like the three cast main members; they were good. The Gwen character, she doesn't do a lot in the first movie, but they do give her more to do here with her dreams, and they do explore it pretty well in this movie, I think. Uh, yeah, but again, the whole thing with the dreaming, I don't mind her having dreams, but I think they do too much of it. I don't mind exploring a little bit of that, but I think they explored too much of it. And, it was kind of ripping off, and the whole thing with I'm getting ahead of myself. But the three cast members did a good job. The cinematography in the film was nice. I like the winter area. The film was very well shot. The two main, Ethan Hawke does a great job. He's creepy when he's on screen. The editing was fine as well. Music score was a little creepy. The film was well shot. I think it's a well shot movie. Yeah. I just didn't think the story was strong enough, and the whole thing with the camp and the snow, it kind of reminded me of the camp. Reminds me of Friday the 13th, a little bit movies, you know, and the Shining with Jack Nicholson with the snow, or I See You with Stallone. I know you probably call that horror, but it's kind of like a horror movie. It's a thriller film about Stallone being after a serial killer and cops being there who are screwed up in the head and someone's killing them off, and Stallone has to figure out who it is, and that killer in the movie murdered his wife, so he's trying to find out who it is. So it's kind of like a horror movie almost. Yeah. I also, my problems with the movie, uh, I do feel like they ripped off a Nightmare on Elm Street as well. There's a scene, where Gwen is being like attacked by him, and it just reminded me of the first Nightmare on Elm Street when Tina was attacked in that movie by Freddy. I'm like, you're kind of copying some things there. You're copying Nightmare on Elm Street. Some people may like that, but I don't. That's my biggest problem with Captain America: Brave New World. That's why I hated that movie because it was a rip off of the Winter Soldier. Thunderbolts was just another Suicide Squad trying to be the new Avengers, and it failed at that. Yeah, you're just adding horror elements in here that you're copying from other movies. I rather the grabber, even though he's dead, I rather they can maybe see him still. It's a movie. You can still maybe see a dead person. It wouldn't matter. It doesn't have to necessarily be a ghost. But honestly, the part of the story, it does feel a little boring at points. In the film, I did have some issues with the pacing. This film was 1 hour and 54 minutes long. 100. I'm like, I think you could cut some stuff out of the movie. Like it's just back and forth with they're, Gwen has this guy that likes her, and they're trying to protect her, like look after her in her dreams. Kind of reminds me of Johnny Depp looking after um, Heather. Damn, I know her name, Nancy. Yeah, Glenn looking after Nancy and I'm on Street. I'm like, but this film does go back and forth a little bit with that, and him making phone calls and the intense situations in the movie. Some of the action, the violence decent. He does get unmasked by the end, and I'm like, I've seen Jason better masked. Like in, I think my favorite version of Jason being unmasked was it was Friday the 13th, Part 6, the New Blood. That was a lot creepier. And Ethan Hawke did a good job, but I'm like, you didn't need to have him trying to kill her in her dreams. And some of the side characters, like the guy that leads the place, I didn't mind. These are the characters. This woman that's comes up as a bitch, is irritating. Some of the action is fine, and I just kind of lost interest in watching the movie. The story was not interesting. It just ripped off too many sequels, and honestly, this felt like a sequel that wasn't even needed. I really wanted to like this. I really enjoyed the Black Phone. That's a good movie. That was a really good horror film. I really was surprised by that. I was gonna watch it again. It's an interesting film. Ethan Hawke, the three cast members give a great performance. The father in here is okay a little bit. He's a dick in the first movie because he beats his kids, and I don't like the way he does that. Kind of just cruel. But in here, he's kind of trying to become a better father. And like I said, I don't mind the film being filmed out in a camp and so on, but it does have that Friday 13th vibe a little bit. And Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm like there a little bit, which you could do just do your own thing. That's what I liked about Black Phone. It did feel original, but the serial killer and Finn being kidnapped and in this creepy place, doesn't know where he's at, getting calls from victims that are dead. They do the same thing here. The film has a lot of cliche jump scares, as you can say, a lot of jump scares. Yeah, I mean, one jump maybe scared me, but so a lot of horror movies nowadays I think, rely too much on jump scares. You don't need a bunch of jump scares. From my point of view, you don't need a bunch of jump scares to scare me. Just build the intensity up. The Black Phone, the first movie didn't even need a lot of jump scares. It just kind of felt like they were saying, well, let's just take some of the stuff from other horror movies and elements of those movies and put them in here. You know, and the film was disappointing story wise. So, but if you did like the first Black Phone movie, you've seen that movie from 2021, you saw that in theaters, and you're going to this, you might like it. If you do, to each his own. I mean, I don't hate the movie. It wasn't a terrible sequel. I could definitely watch it over Captain America: Brave New World. I would say it's probably a time waster for me at best. As far as sequel I wouldn't mind getting, you know, it's kind of like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It's a decent sequel. Like this was a decent sequel. It's just a mixed bag for me, but it's also disappointing. I'd rather watch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer because I feel like that movie didn't rip off anything, and I like the idea of them like being in paradise, and stuff, and being on an island, and then Ben Willis is trying to attack Julia again, and you know, and kill her and her friends. So that could be an entertaining sequel, despite Jack Black being a you know annoying crackhead in the movie. I guess some might find it more intimidating that sequel than this. But at least that sequel tried something different, and I like the so that Jeffrey Combs was in that movie. Great actor from Reanimator, Frighteners. You know, again, I did fall asleep during the movie a little bit. Maybe it's because I work, or maybe it's not like I said. I think for me, the film did have some pacing issues. Kind of lost interest because the story was just kind of going everywhere for me, like kind of back and forth, and I just didn't really find it interesting too much. I didn't really feel the suspense like I felt in the first movie. Like the first movie slowly builds the suspense. This film feels like it was a rush sequel. You know, I don't think you really needed to make a sequel to Black Phone. It's just, of course. But in Hollywood, when a movie does very well, successful, especially a movie like The Black Phone or any certain movies that do well, you're gonna get a sequel. I would even say I like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness better than this. That's just me. That's just me. You know. And don't get me wrong, Charles Derrickson did a great job directing the first movie. I just felt like, it's not a horrible sequel. I could watch this. I would definitely watch this over Thunderbolts. You know, yeah. For what it is, it's a time waster for a sequel. It's just meh. It's just a mixed bag. I'm sorry. This movie really wasn't for me. This movie just was disappointing. But anyway, guys, maybe over time, this is just a first reaction video. What are my thoughts on seeing the movie? I just gave you my thoughts. I'm not gonna give it a rating or anything. No. But if you want to see, if you're a fan of the first movie, I highly recommend you go see it for yourself. I didn't say any spoilers in the movie. Not gonna mention any spoilers. No spoilers. I did the first movie a little bit, but no spoilers for the sequel because it's new. It's been out I think for what, a week or so. But if you enjoyed the first Black Phone movie, then the Black Phone 2, you probably will want to watch it if you're a diehard fan of that movie. Yeah, because I really enjoyed the first movie. And I'm like, okay, I gotta see the sequel. That's why I was interested. I'm definitely interested in sequels like Zootopia 2, which I think comes out next month. I definitely also want to see Five Nights at Freddy's 2, because I did like the first movie, so I'm like, maybe some sequels. Some other movies, I know they're doing the Back to the Future 40th anniversary. I don't really need to do that. I would love to, but I'm like, I got the movie anyway. So, but anyway, guys, that was my quick first reaction. So, guys, hope you enjoyed these videos. Remember, I did these videos. I will share these videos and make a new playlist on this channel for first reaction, which is videos that when I see new movies in theaters, I give you my thoughts and opinion on them. But again, over time, if I review them in the future wise, my opinion could change over time. So, this is just my opinion on the movie for now. It could change over time. You know, that's why I don't like to review new movies right away. I'd rather be a little patient and wait over time to see how my opinion be. But this is just a first reaction, give you my thoughts on it because it's a different kind of video. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you've seen the Black Phone 2, please don't put any spoilers in the comments. No spoilers in this video or the comments. If you've seen the Black Phone 2, what do you think of it? Do you think the first movie's better? I say it's not as good as the first movie at all. It's not even on par with the first movie. You know, it's definitely an unnecessary sequel in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. The more I think about it, yeah, but just not needed. That's just my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, I can start on Arrow sometime soon. Hopefully, I'll start the team looking for a job still. I'm trying. I need to keep on trying. But again, by November, if I don't get a job, maybe I'll go back to Arrow eventually. We're not too far away. I think Halloween is next week, so yeah, I can't believe it's years going by like this. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed your day. You have a good day, y'all. Have a good night wherever you're at. Be good, be cool. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you've seen Black Phone 2, what do you think of it in your opinion? What are your thoughts on the movie? Do you disagree with me or do you agree with me? And do you love the first movie more than this? I think the first movie was a lot better. I would like to own it someday. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye. And hope I can do more first reaction videos like this. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Bye-bye.